Today we're going to look at a product that is commonly misunderstood within the plumbing wholesale business, the galvanized left-right nipple and coupling. The easiest way to identify a left-right nipple is the checkering that happens on the left-hand thread side of the nipple. The coupling itself has a right and left indication on it next to the size. So by definition, a left-handed nipple and coupling set has a left-handed thread on one side and a right-handed thread on another, and is typically used in a gas system where unions are not allowed. So essentially, where you're going to tie two lines in, say a main line to a piece of equipment, a union will pull them together. The only other way to do it in a system that's built of all right-hand threads is a right and left-hand thread. So as you torque and tighten, it acts as a turnbuckle, pulling everything together and is set as a permanent connection. One more quick visual analogy. As you tighten, you can see that line that indicates where we started and how much it pulled together, one whole thread length. One of the things that makes us a superior wholesaler is the fact that we can help the plumber as a solutions provider. So back in the day, the only way to conjoin that end was that right and left nipple and coupling. Not so great. In today's world, we have press technology. So by simply cutting off the threads on either side and butting them up together, we can slip couple steel pipe together with a mega press slip coupling. Very simple, very easy, and an alternative to the plumber. Simply butt the two pipes together, slide your coupling over, press, press. By knowing what our products do, we add huge value to the contractor, to the company, and to yourself. All right, moving along to unions. A union is a fitting that connects materials together in such a way that it can be assembled and disassembled without damaging the connection ends. A ground joint union is in reference to its center seal. A convex male end mates perfectly with a concave female end, making a water or airtight seal. The ground joint has nothing to do with the connection ends. We're looking at a 3/4 inch brass iron pipe union here with a ground joint seal in the middle. Most P-traps that you pull every day, they have a ground joint in the middle. It's a perfect little seat that will allow you to kind of swivel and pivot. It just jam nuts together and makes a nice tight seal. Here's one more look at a very well-built ground joint union, just to give you another perspective. It's always a male and a female joint there in the center, and as you squeeze them together, they make a perfect airtight seal. Now, just to keep things interesting, what you're looking at here is an insulated ground joint union. The identical principles as a ground joint, but it has a big nylon gasket that's adhered to the metal to eliminate any sort of vibration, electrolysis, or chemical interaction. So typically we see a black metal-to-metal ground joint union used for a gas job. That same fitting could be used for ammonia, some sort of processed food lines, anything, and that nylon seal in the middle eliminates all the electrolysis, vibration, shock, and any sort of loosening. We sell a lot of these, and the difference between the two is the gasket in the center, and the terminologies are insulated ground joint and ground joint. Now, a couple of unions that people don't consider unions. Water flexes, right? Conjoining two pieces of material, and those are set together with a rubber seal, or what we'd refer to as a gasketed union end. There's a look at a copper one, and here's a look at a stainless one that you sell every single day. One more you should recognize here at first glance. How about the end of a recirculator pump, like a Grundfos pump? When somebody says, hey, I need compression unions, or I need iron pipe unions. Whenever there's a flat seal, water. Whenever there's a ground joint, typically a gas. Just a general rule of thumb. Now, one of the number one unions for water is a dielectric. If you're going to connect copper to galvanize, you will absolutely get electrolysis once you add water. So a dielectric union is designed to interrupt any sort of galvanic reaction between the similar metals. This is a gasketed union, so there is a rubber interruption in the middle. Just a quick look at how one goes together. You thread it onto your iron pipe side, you slide your gasket together. You can see that there's a polymer insert there so the metal rings are not touching, and then you slide your copper in. Very, very common when transitioning from old piping in a house to new piping in a house. One more quick reference in case you ever get asked on the counter. Back in the day, there used to be what they called an insulated coupling. It would act as a dielectric. It had a big polymer interior inside a coupling, and you would essentially just screw two pieces of dissimilar pipe together. P.S. It didn't work, and they're illegal. So, quick recap. Right and left nipples and couplings should only be used together, and they should be kept separate from all the other nipples in the warehouse. If you're not sure, look for the right and left on the coupling, and look for the little knurling on the nipple. Unions come two ways. They come ground joint, and then they come gasketed, where in the middle there is a gasket or some sort of rubber or paper seal in the center. All right, y'all, let's talk nipples and unions.